It was the late 1990s. I didn't exist yet. However, Ryan McPherson existed. Then a teenager in La Mesa, California, influenced by the rising stardom of the CKY projects of the time, Ryan was often found around his neighborhood filming skate tricks and pranks with friends. La Mesa was filled with interesting people, namely 2 homeless Army veterans, Donnie Brennan and Rufus Hanna. The 2 were alcoholics, at one point being part of the San Diego homeless population, but moving to the suburbs as they preferred the quiet and safety. The 2 faces were recognizable in the suburbs, mainly because they were friendly and clearly unlike the rest of the well-to-do families in La Mesa, but for another reason. The 2 were pranksters themselves. Brennan and Hannah were constantly daring each other to do stupid pranks and tricks, like running into trees and jumping off of walkways. As soon as McPherson heard word of this, he knew the 2 would be perfect for his film projects. After meeting them behind a supermarket where the 2 were cashing in recyclables for money to buy more beer, he knew right away that he had found his perfect stuntman. Although he denies it, court documents reflect that almost immediately after meeting, McPherson offered to pay Hannah $5 to headbutt a stack of milk crates, to which he agreed because more beer money. This was the first in a long line of stunts captured on tape that would immortalize McPherson and his homeless subjects. These videos spread across San Diego, eventually garnering attention from a freelance graphic designer named Zach Bubeck. Bubeck had seen videos like this circulating around his home city of Las Vegas, made by a teenager named Danny Turner. Next up, Bubeck contacted a filmmaking friend of his own named Mikey Slyman, and before long, all 4 of the men had formed their own production company known as In Decline. The first DVD, which was sold for around $20 a pop on their website, was a collection of stunts and pranks that had been performed by Hannah and Brennan, as well as other members of the homeless population in San Diego. Similar to the Jackass and CKY series, the films were shocking, as they showed a vulnerable class of society risking great bodily harm through pranks, tricks, fighting, and drug abuse. The pranks and sketches on the DVD were more than just shocking. They were downright humiliating. Between scenes of brawling and broken teeth, a Steve Irwin impersonator, calling himself the Bum Hunter, would attempt to capture a sleeping homeless man by duct taping his hands and marking him with a Sharpie. The man pleads to be left alone, yet his cries are ignored for the sake of comedy.
Take a look at you. Won't you take a look at you?
What's up, man?
Yeah, take a look at you. Can you put your hands together like that?
No, man.
Yeah, mate. Come on.
Man,
All right, guys, we got a live one here.
Listen, man, I haven't got nothing for you, man.
We got a live one here, guys.
It's okay,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
What do you want, man?
Okay. We got a live one here, guys.
It's okay, man. I ain't got nothing for you,
This
man.
one's a little crazy here, guys.
I'm okay,
It's
man.
for your own good here, mate. For your own good. For your own good. Just want to study you here a little bit. Want to study you here? Go and have a lay back. Want to check your flexibility levels? Oh, this is a beautiful specimen. Look at here. Look at the receding hairline here. Obviously, this is one of the older bulls here.
Come on,
Oh,
guys,
look at
man. I
here.
ain't done nothing for you, man.
Yeah, let's get a marking on him. Make sure we can
come
track
on,
his
man.
progress.
Hey,
Let's get a marking on his progress here.
come on,
Not
man.
gonna hurt you in any way. It's for your own good, mate. For your own good. For your own good. Just gonna put it on your hand here. It's just your marking.
Bumfights had reached infamy. Radio host Howard Stern directed his listeners toward the website, causing it to crash from the traffic. Merchandise was selling fast too, because if we know anything, suffering and capitalism go hand in hand. The In Decline crew felt no remorse. They insisted the point of the project was not to profit off of pain, but to instead show the world the dark side of homelessness, as if being homeless wasn't bad enough. But it didn't really matter what they had to say anymore, as the project had been sold off to 2 anonymous buyers for about $1.5 million. The buyers, using the fake names Leigh Ratisha and Ty Beeson, stated that the profit made off of the film would be used to fund a later, more serious film. A member of the new film crew would later be on Dr. Phil, posing as one of the creators, infamously becoming known as that guy who impersonated the TV host, bald cap and all, and got kicked off.
Video series. I'm not surprised at my success. It's a sick world.
Stop the tape. Stop the tape. I don't want to talk to you.
Why not?
That's despicable. I don't want to talk to you. You can go. You can go.
If you think I exploit people, every time you bring a guest on this show, you exploit them and spread whatever problems they have to the whole world. You think that's helping them?
Yeah, keep telling yourself that. You can go.
You know what? Who do you think you are, huh?
Bye.
Hey, bud, come on.
Huh?
Come on.
No, I'm not finished talking to you.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
Come on, let's go.
Sorry, but...
These new owners would proceed to release 3 Bumfights sequels through 2006, known as Bum Life, The Felony Footage, and Return of Ruckus, respectively. But we don't really have time for that one. If you thought Ryan had already seen enough trouble from his project, well, you'd be wrong. The DVD had featured what was a real drunken altercation. After meeting his 2 stars, Brennan and Hannah at an abandoned Taco Bell, McPherson and Tanner would witness Hannah going on what could best be described as a drunken rage. Rufus was just on a rampage, McPherson says. We pulled up and we felt like Rufus was probably going to kill Donnie that day. Hannah would proceed to strike Brennan in the face twice, and Brennan would hit the ground hard. The homeless man soon complained about pain in his leg, and after inspection, Tanner suspected a broken bone. After calling the appropriate authorities, police, fire, and paramedics soon arrived. Although McPherson would insist to cops that he and Tanner had attempted to subside the violence, Brennan would later tell Rolling Stone a different, more incriminating story, that Ryan had instead instructed Hannah to slug him for the camera. This fight would be featured in the DVD, and coupled with the many other degrading acts, including a scene in which Brennan gets Bumfights tattooed across his forehead, would be used as evidence in a 2002 criminal lawsuit filed by the Superior Court of California against the Indecline crew members. There were 2 felony counts of both solicitation to commit a crime and conspiracy to commit a crime, derived from the use of money, alcohol, and occasionally food to bribe homeless victims into committing violent and dangerous acts. A felonious count of battery with serious injury related to the Taco Bell fight would be introduced here as well, not to mention a misdemeanor charge of illegal fight promoting, as Tanner and McPherson had tried to compensate the 2 men for their injuries that day. The Indecline defense struggled to formulate a plan. Using alleged cut footage from the tapes as a last-minute submission, Tanner apparently tells Hannah to not hit Brennan. However, the judge believed these clips could have easily been doctored in post to help better their case, as there were several small inconsistencies noted in the footage. Naturally, McPherson denied this claim during the later interview with Rolling Stone. By the beginning of 2003, all of the charges against Indecline had either been dropped or reduced to misdemeanors. Hannah had testified, albeit apparently confused and shaken, that he had never been forced to perform any of the actions. Well, little side note, McPherson and Bubeck would end up violating their parole as they hadn't completed the necessary community service hours, and would serve 3 of the 6 months they had been sentenced to. The civil lawsuit initiated in 2002 would begin in 2006, the outcome being that Brennan, Hannah, and another unnamed plaintiff would receive roughly $300,000 in a settlement after it was decided that their civil rights had been violated during the making of the videos. Brennan remained homeless for many years. He would later say that the money received from his civil suit would pay necessities like food, clothes, and rent when housing was available for 5 years. Today, he lives off of his Army disability checks and has become sober. In 2018, he was living in a room at a sober living center in San Diego. Barry Soper, a San Diego businessman who had previously hired the 2 homeless men for handiwork, would once again hire Hannah to help out with handyman tasks. He even helped him write his 2010 memoir and would be a source of support for the man as he went on to give motivational speeches at events organized by the National Coalition for the Homeless. In 2002, his daughter reached out to him in a letter after seeing him on Bumfights. Her concern for his way of life would stop him from drinking for the rest of his life. Oh, and there was that. Rufus Hannah moved back to Georgia to be closer with family, and during a ride in his sister's car in 2017, an 18-wheeler collided with the passenger side, killing him instantly. Despite all of this mess, Ryan McPherson still claims to this day that he had a lot of love for the homeless duo who had brought him fame and fortune. He brought them leftovers from Thanksgiving, provided them with monetary donations, and for a short time brought them to Las Vegas and provided them with housing. But Brennan believes that this was all his way of manipulating the two, as well as the other homeless individuals caught on tape, into being a part of his sick project. Ryan naturally denies this. With Rufus, I was always proud of him, McPherson says. It would have been cool to talk to Rufus again. He was a legend. Bumfights wasn't intended to become a major hit. It was the idea of a teenager that spiraled out of control and received far more attention than McPherson could have ever dreamed. It's somewhat unknown today in 2020, but leaves its mark on Outcast media history in a special place, similar to the ventures that inspired it like Jackass or CKY. And truthfully, it doesn't differ much from what's popular today on YouTube or Twitter. So honestly, I hate to say it, but Bumfights was ahead of its time, for better or worse. I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who watched this video and considered the subject at hand. I know it's difficult, and this was also my first video, so if you could like, subscribe, and comment, I would greatly appreciate that. But I'll see you next time. Thank you.